we just have amazing results, and we're right near a deposit that also is getting amazing results. So there's a bit of an area play there, which everyone enjoys. And we're continuing to explore and develop what we hope will be a resource and a deposit on that property.
Welcome back, everybody, and thank you so much for joining us here at smallcapvoice.com for another online business briefing where we shine a spotlight on some of the smartest and freshest plays out there in the market today. Now, to that end, we're lucky enough to be speaking once again with Grid Battery Metals Incorporated, and specifically their CEO, Tim Fernback. Not only the CEO, but the president and CEO, Tim Fernback. Tim, welcome back. It's wonderful to speak with you.
Yeah, great to be here.
Now, if you want to know the ticker symbols, and I hope you do, here in the States, they're traded on the OTCQB under the ticker symbol EVKRF. On the TSX Venture Exchange, they're traded under the ticker symbol CELL, and on the Frankfurt under NMK2. So, Tim, it's been a while since we've spoken with you, and this is a whole new format with a whole new audience. Before we get started, if we could get a refresh on the business model and the markets that you operate in.
Sure, yeah, no, happy to do that. We're a Canadian battery metal mining explorer, and we operate primarily in North America. Our core properties are located in Nevada, and they are lithium-based. And we also have a nickel property in British Columbia. So we look for good mining jurisdictions which have great track records for investment support and mining support, and we operate there. That's our company in a nutshell.
Very good. Thanks for that, Tim. Now, before we get into some of the great recent news for your company, let's take a look back on 2023 from the president and CEO standpoint. From your standpoint, what do you see as some of the major milestones the company was able to achieve?
So in 2023, we had done quite a bit. We had completed some exploration work in Nevada on our lithium properties. We acquired a property called the Texas Spring lithium property, which is right near the Surge Nevada North lithium deposit. And at the Surge deposit, they're showing lithium ppms north of 8,000 ppm, which is fantastic. And our property, which adjoins their property to the south, is showing lithium results as high as 5,600 ppm. So again, incredible results. Anything over 1,000 ppm is amazing in terms of soil sample results. So we're going to continue to develop our property at this Texas Spring location. And we have two other properties that we've been working on as well in Nevada. The Clayton Valley property, which we've been holding for a number of years, and we continue to develop that. That's right near the Albemarle mining, the only lithium mine in North America. So that's quite a great property in our portfolio. And we brought on the Volt Canyon property, which is in another area of Nevada, underdeveloped, but we believe to be a hidden gem, and we're doing our base exploration there.
Excellent. Well, thank you. Oh, I'm sorry, Tim, go ahead.
I was going to say, in British Columbia, we continue to develop our BC nickel project as well. So we spent some money on drilling and exploration there, and we continue to do so. We've just announced our 4th phase of the exploration project there right now.
Excellent. And that was a great update. And we're going to dive a little deeper into those projects in just a little bit. But one thing I wanted to ask you at the outset of this interview, Tim, is what separates Grid from, well, its competitors?
I think that we have a company that's founded by people that have a lot of experience in Nevada for lithium exploration. Myself, I've got over 10 years experience financing companies in Nevada for lithium exploration. Our geological team has a longer tenure there in Nevada. It allows us to really know the landscape, know the people involved in the permitting side of things, all the major mining contractors. So we have a deep knowledge of Nevada-based lithium exploration. That can't be undersold because a lot of companies are brand new to Nevada. They just don't know how to navigate the ins and outs of that particular state. And on top of it, our background corporately is one that has a lot of investment banking and corporate finance background. So we're always looking to shore up our balance sheet, always looking to have a strong balance sheet. Right now, we have over $7.2 million in our treasury. We're fully funded for the whole of next year. That's how we operate. We always like to have lots of cash on hand to selectively acquire or fund our exploration programs well in advance of them happening.
Well, very good. Let's touch on some of that recent news because you had a great press release to kick off 2024. The Dateline, listeners, is January 11th, Thursday. The headline, Grid Battery Metals, provides a financial update. And it's a short, succinct press release with a lot of good information in it. Tim, can we get your insights into this press release?
Sure. So in this press release, we talk about a couple different things. One, we talk about our balance sheet and our cash position, which I mentioned just earlier, but $7.2 million on our balance sheet right now, available for us to use for our exploration and corporate work that we're going to do in 2024 and beyond. But how we got that money primarily is through private placement last year. But also we achieved about $5 million through non-dilutive financing by selling some shares that we had on the books for a property that was non-core to us, but we sold it to Surge Battery Metals, and we were able to realize about $5 million in non-dilutive capital by selling those shares on the market. So we've done a good job of managing our treasury and at the same time making wise divestitures when needed.
That's outstanding, and it must be music to the ears of your shareholders and investors. And for them, we talked about this. Let's now do a deeper dive into those projects. You gave us an overview on the Texas Spring Lithium project as well as the BC Nickel project. Can we get a little bit of a deeper dive into those projects and what we might see from Grid related to these projects here in 2024?
Sure. Yeah, so Texas Spring is our primary lithium project in Nevada. We just have amazing results, and we're right near a deposit that also is getting amazing results. So there's a bit of an area play there, which everyone enjoys. And we're continuing to explore and develop what we hope will be a resource and a deposit on that property. So we've been active in 2023. We're going to continue to be active in 2024 on that project. We've just recently are in the process of updating our 43-101 with our qualified professional geologist, and we should have the results of that out shortly. It will give us a roadmap of where we want to be after the end of 2024. The other property that we have that we've been doing a lot of work on is our nickel property in British Columbia. That particular property we've spent a lot of money on in the past. It is right beside, again, another great project, the FPX Dakar project, which is the 8th largest nickel resource in the world, as per mining.com. And so what we want to do there is we're planning on spinning that company out, that project out into a subsidiary. And that spin out will become a share dividend to any Grid shareholder. So they'll get a proportionate share of this newly public company once we spin it out, and for no additional cost. So it's a bonus for each of our shareholders. It amounts to like essentially a share dividend of this new public company. And we're going to be focusing our energy on developing that nickel resource separately from our lithium resources.
Outstanding. Wow, great news for the investors right here. And we're speaking once again with Tim Fernback, President and CEO of Grid Battery Metals. Now, we talked a little bit before this interview. I was catching up with you, Tim, and you pointed out really the world's great need for both nickel and lithium. And I want our listeners, our viewers as well, to refer to this press release that came out on December 20th, 2023. Grid Battery Metals provides a year-end update. And in this, you personally really outline what are the drivers behind these needs for lithium and nickel. So for those who may not have caught that press release, let's get you, as someone immersed in these industries, why they're so important to us now and in the future.
So both of these elements that we're looking for are involved in the electrification of the economy in general. So one of the largest drivers for electrification would be the EV or electric vehicle revolution that's happening right now. Each electric vehicle requires many kilograms of each of these compounds so that they can go into the battery. And they're essential components of the battery. Lithium allows for the transmissibility of energy flow. So if you want that quick acceleration off your EV, you can thank lithium in the battery for that. And nickel and other components like cobalt form part of the storage and the stability of the battery. So without nickel and other compounds in the battery that have that kind of alloy ability, like cobalt, you see that these batteries would not be as stable as they are. They would have a lot more issues with them. So both very essential for the electric vehicle battery. Globally, I think we've crossed a major milestone in terms of over 41 million electric vehicles sold on the planet. I think that the percent of new car sales is staggering in terms of EVs. I know in Vancouver, where we are right now, you can't drive down the road without seeing all different sorts of electric vehicles on the market. I would guess that we're talking about double-digit new car sales are all electric vehicles right now. And we can thank high gas prices for that, because that always pushes the consumer towards a viable option. I know myself, like I drive an electric vehicle. The amount of maintenance on the vehicle is a lot lower. There's obviously no gas, and you can fill up your tank for a 500-kilometer, 350-mile radius and do that for $7. So $7 Canadian, which is what, about $4.50 US?
Yeah.
So it's amazing how cost effective these vehicles are. And they're only going to come in more and more models. They're only going to come in more and more availability, more incentives for the consumer to purchase. And yeah, so it's fantastic. So we're in the right place at the right time with these critical elements that are very essential to this electric car revolution.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm sure our audience can all agree unanimously that electric vehicles are not only here to stay, but as you pointed out, a proliferation of them, because like you said, gas prices and oil and everything else seems to be skyrocketing once again. So now is the time for you to take a closer look at Grid Battery Metals, traded on the TSXV under the ticker symbol CELL, on the OTCQB under the ticker symbol EVKRF, and on the Frankfurt under the ticker symbol NMK2. Tim, it's always wonderful to catch up with you. I really appreciate your insights, not only into your company, but into these key markets that you operate in. Thanks for your time here. We wish you nothing but wonderful things here in 2024 and well beyond for you and your company.
Yeah, thanks, Stuart. Glad to be here, and we're looking forward to a great 2024 as well.
Outstanding. Well, hey, make sure you add Battery Metals to your watch list and hit the subscribe button below. We'd love to get your questions that we can pass along to Tim and the team at Grid. For those who aren't able to join in live with us today, be sure to subscribe here at smallcapvoice.com as well. For Tim, this is Stuart saying thanks so much for tuning in.